So today I'm discussing a basic intro to Kumihimo. I like Kumihimo because it's very accessible. Most people can afford to do it. There are two basic types of mandrel used for Kumihimo. And in this case, all of mine are foam. You can do a Kumihimo disc or a Kumihimo plate. There are multiple manufacturers. These are about $1.50 a piece if you can find the right seller. This one came as part of a kit. And this is my Bead Smith double density. And this one I got off Amazon for about 10 bucks. I find it to be a lot easier to use because of how thick it is, and it's just easier to hold for me to hold in my hand. But you don't even have to have that. You can print this off the internet. You can ask me for a link, or you can go to that site and get it. Glue it to a piece of cardboard, cut the edges, and there you go. You have your own mandrel disc. Today we're going to discuss setting up your disc for a braid. I've got everything pre-wound, and I use embroidery bobbins and with binder clips on the end because I found it was the cheapest way to do it. I can have multiple braids set up or do classes and not have to spend a lot of money to get my supplies. Plus it allows me to do a much longer braid than the bobbins. The longest braid I've ever done was 12 feet finished length. So here I am grabbing all my threads, making sure that they're approximately the same length before I tie them. Just a little extra level of frugalness. And then I give myself a good length to work with. I wrap it around my finger and just do a normal half knot. You can leave a loop if you want and tighten from the opposite end. I don't typically. I just pull it through. If I want a working end, I just make a second knot. Or if I need a loop to work from, a second knot works just fine for me. And I use that as one way to add weights if I feel the need to use weights. You technically don't have to use weights with a foam disc. The slots hold the thread just fine. I like it. It makes me a slightly tighter braid, and that's important to me. But it's not necessary for starting out. And I just use fishing weights for my weights. So you'll already know what type of braid you're wanting to do. You would have to follow the pattern for setup, and you'll just grab your thread and slot it into wherever, because you're going to have to untangle it just a little, and then once everything's untangled, you slot your threads where they need to go to start your braid. And this will pick up in our next video. Oh, so this is the setup for an 8-strand round braid. We're going to be doing a type of spiral braid that doesn't look unlike this one, except this is a 12-strand and has 3 colors: green, gold, and black. This one is going to be anterior gold and black. So I've got 2 gold up, 2 black to the right, 2 gold down, and my 2 black to the left are slightly off. This won't actually affect the braid, but let's start out firing on all cylinders, shall we? So for this, I'm going to take the thread from between 32 and 1, and I'm going to move it down. And I actually made this strand too loose, so, or too short, sorry. So, there we go. And then I'm going to take the strand that's between 16 and 17, and I'm going to move it up to 30-31. I'm going to rotate counterclockwise, and then the strand that's between 8 and 9 is going to get moved down between 22 and 23, and then I'm going to take the far left strand and move it up between 6 and 7. I'm going to turn it counterclockwise again. And I'm going to move the right side down and the left side up. And these steps were repeated ad nauseum, as it were, are how you get a round braid. If I want to pause and go get a cup of coffee or something, I have 3 strands down, and I know that my next one, left side, goes up, and I can put it down. This is an excellent thing to take to court with you, or the DMV, or any place where having a quiet activity to do while you listen or watch would be nice. Children can do this quite easily. Right side down, left side up, rotate. And it's nice to be able, it is very nice for them to be able to watch themselves create something. I recommend starting out with something short, like a bracelet, so that you can actually accomplish something. It's going to take a minute for me to accomplish to make enough of a braid for you to see the change. So we'll be back in just a moment. And this is the current pattern that we're making. This is just a few minutes work, not that long really. But once you get it down, it's very easy to do while watching TV or court, and it can be used for placing a dress or a tunic, a drawstring, or some people do use them as shoelaces, which I think is really kind of nifty. But there you go. 8 strand round braid.